If you have an L4, L5 disc bulge and your leg pain keeps coming back no matter what you do, I want you to stop what you're doing and watch this, because there's a very specific reason your leg pain keeps returning. And it's not because your exercises aren't working. It's not because your treatment isn't working. It's likely something you're doing every single day, probably right now, that's reversing all of that progress. I'm Dr. Philip Cordova. I've been a chiropractor for over 29 years, located here in Houston, Texas. I've helped thousands of patients with disc bulges, sciatica, and leg pain get their life back without surgery. And what I'm going to share with you today are the exact same tips I give every single patient who walks through my door with an L4, L5 disc problem. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand why your leg pain keeps coming back and exactly what to change starting today. First, let me explain what is actually happening inside your spine when you're dealing with an L4, L5 disc bulge. Your L4, L5 disc bulge sits right there at the base of your lumbar spine. The disc acts like a shock absorber between the fourth and fifth lumbar vertebrae. When that disc is healthy, it has a gel-like center and the outer wall keeps that gel contained. When you have a disc bulge at L4, L5, that outer wall has weakened. The gel inside is pushing outward, and right next to that disc, right there, is your L5 nerve root. That's the nerve that runs with the sciatic nerve through your buttock, down the back of your leg, and eventually leads all the way to your foot. So when that disc bulges or herniates toward that nerve, you feel it as leg pain, sciatica, numbness, tingling, and sometimes even a burning sensation down the back of your leg. You likely already know what I'm talking about. Now, most of my patients do the right things. They come in for their adjustments. They're getting spinal decompression done. They do their exercises at home. They take it easy for a few days. The leg pain calms down. They feel better. And then they go back to their regular life, and within a day or two, the leg pain is back. They call me feeling frustrated. They ask, "Dr. Cordova, why does this keep happening?" And the answer is this: there is one thing that almost everyone goes back to doing that puts that disc right back under pressure again. Research shows that this one position can increase intradiscal pressure by up to 40% compared to standing. And when that pressure goes up, the disc bulge pushes back towards that nerve, and the leg pain comes back. And that one thing is sitting. They go back to sitting at a desk for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, back to long car rides, back to the couch at night. Every time you sit for extended periods of time, you dramatically increase the pressure on that L4, L5 disc. So you haven't failed. Your exercises haven't failed. What's happening is that the very thing you go back to is undoing the progress that you're making. Here's the good news. There are 3 simple changes, 3 things I teach every patient in my practice that protect that disc between your treatments and exercises. If you do these 3 things, they may prevent your leg pain from returning. So let's go through them right now. The first change is what I call the reset rule, and it is this: never sit for more than 30 to 45 minutes without getting up and moving. That is key. 30 to 45 minutes, that's it, that's the rule. Here's why that matters. When you sit continuously, that L4 or L5 disc is under sustained compression. The longer you stay in that position, the more that disc gets loaded and the more that bulge pushes towards the nerve. It's not just about how you sit, it's about how long you sit without a break. Now, when I tell patients to get up every 30 to 45 minutes, the first thing they say is, "Dr. Cordova, I'm in the middle of work. I can't just get up all the time." And here's my answer. You don't need to do your full exercise routine every 30 minutes. You don't need to do anything complicated. You just need to stand up and walk. Walk to the kitchen, walk to the bathroom, walk to get a glass of water, walk to a coworker's desk instead of sending an email. 2 to 3 minutes of walking is enough to decompress that disc, to shift the pressure off the L4 or L5 level, and to give that nerve root some relief. I recommend setting a timer on your phone every 30 to 45 minutes. It goes off. You get up, you walk, you come back. It takes 2 minutes. That's it. This one change alone has made a massive difference for so many of my patients. Not because it's complicated, but because they actually do it consistently. And before I go to tip number 2, if this video is already making sense to you, go ahead and hit that like button. It tells me this content is helping and also helps other people with disc problems find this video. Tip number 2 is what I call the position fix, and this is one of the most common mistakes I see, even from patients who are trying to do everything right. Most standard office chairs and most car seats put your hips at the same level as your knees or even slightly lower. Your hips are down here, your knees are up here like this. And when your hips drop level with or below your knees, your lower back naturally flattens out. You lose the natural curve called the lumbar lordosis right here in your low back. And when that curve flattens, the pressure at the L4 or L5 disc spikes. That's the exact place you're trying to protect. Now here's the position fix. You want your hips to sit slightly higher than your knees. When your hips are slightly higher than your knees, your lumbar curve is maintained naturally. The disc pressure at L4, L5 drops, the nerve has more room. This is the position your spine wants to be in. So how do you get there? A few options. First, if your chair has a height adjustment, raise it. Your feet should still be flat on the floor, but your hips should be slightly above your knees. Second, if you can't adjust your chair, try sitting towards the front edge of the seat. This naturally tilts your pelvis forward and brings back that lumbar curve. Third, use a small wedge cushion. You can find them online for under $20. You sit on it and the angle automatically puts your hips higher than your knees. And fourth, if your workplace has a standing desk, use it. Even alternating between sitting and standing 50-50 throughout the day takes enormous load off that L4, L5 disc. This is an important concept. You can be doing all the right exercises, but if you're sitting in the wrong position for 8 hours a day, you are working against yourself. The position you sit in matters just as much as the exercises you do. Tip number 3 is what I call the support system. And the best part about this one is that it can cost you absolutely nothing. Every time you sit at your desk, in your car, or on the couch, use a lumbar support behind your lower back. Here's why. Without support, when you sit, especially when you're tired or when you've been sitting for a while, your lower back rounds backwards. You slump. And that backward rounding puts the L4, L5 disc under increased compression. It literally squeezes the bulge toward the nerve located in the back of the spine. That nerve compression is what's sending pain down your leg. A lumbar support holds lumbar lordosis in place for you. Even when your muscles are tired, even when you forget to think about your posture, the support is doing the work. Now the placement matters. The lumbar support does not go behind your mid-back. It does not go behind your tailbone. It goes right here at the curve of your lower back, right at the lumbar region. You should feel it gently pressing in and maintaining that natural arch. You want to use this everywhere. Your office chair, your car seat, especially on long drives, because car seats are notorious for compromising the lumbar curve. And yes, the couch. The couch is one of the worst things for an L4, L5 disc bulge because most couches completely collapse your lumbar support. And here's the zero-cost version, the one I give patients all the time. Take a regular bath towel, fold it lengthwise, roll it up tightly, tie it with rubber bands or a belt, done. You now have a lumbar roll. Place it behind your lower back every time you sit. I've had patients tell me that the simple towel roll changed their life because they used it consistently in every chair, every car ride, and for the first time, their leg pain stopped coming back. The support system works. Use it every time you sit. Let me put this all together for you because these 3 things work together as a system. Your exercises, your chiropractic care, and spinal decompression are reducing the disc bulge and calming that irritated L5 nerve. That's the treatment side. But what happens between your treatments, what you do for the other 23 hours of the day is just as important. Number 1, the reset rule. Never sit longer than 30 to 45 minutes. Set the timer, get up, walk, give that disc a break. Number 2, the position fix. Every time you sit, make sure your hips are slightly higher than your knees. Maintain that lumbar curve. Number 3, the support system. Lumbar support or your rolled towel behind your lower back, on the chair, in the car, on the couch. These aren't complicated, they don't require expensive equipment, but they are what separates patients who break the cycle of returning leg pain from patients who stay stuck in it. If you do the exercises and the treatment, but you skip these 3 things, you are fighting an uphill battle every single day. But if you combine the treatment with these 3 habits, that's when patients start telling me their leg pain is finally staying away. I've been doing this for over 29 years, and in that time, I have helped thousands of patients with L4, L5 disc bulges avoid surgery, not through one single miracle treatment, but through understanding what's happening and making the right changes consistently. Surgery is not your only option, not by a long shot. But here's the truth. Your disc doesn't know you had a treatment session this morning. It doesn't know you did your exercises. All it knows is the pressure that's on it right now. And that pressure is determined by how you move and how you sit throughout the entire day. Protect that disc. Use these 3 strategies. Give your body the conditions it needs to actually heal. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. Tell me which of these 3 changes you're going to start with or what you feel is making your pain worse day to day. I read comments and it helps me to know what to cover in future videos. And if you know someone dealing with leg pain, sciatica, or a disc bulge, share this video with them. It could make a real difference for them. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I put out practical videos like this every week, real information about your spine that you can actually use. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. And if you're here in the Houston area and you want to get to the bottom of your L4 L5 disc problem with a proper evaluation, come see us at the clinic. I'll put the details in the description below so you can find us. And watch for my next video. I'm going to cover the best and worst sleeping positions for an L4 L5 disc bulge, because what your spine goes through overnight can either help you heal or keep setting you back. Go watch this video next.